Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services. Bill 6, the Correctional Services Transformation Act, excuse me, is supposed to be a thorough overhaul of a broken correctional system. Ensuring the safety of everyone in our detention centres should be paramount. But Bill 6 is all about the inmates and not the safety of our correctional officers. The crisis in corrections is out of control. Assaults on officers are at an all-time high. Harsh discipline against officers for petty incidents leaves them feeling abandoned, unappreciated, and lacking management support. When inmates physically assault an officer, even when throwing urine or feces, the penalty for an inmate is either nothing or a minor slap on the wrist. Minister, when will you actually get tough on crime and respect our officers?
Thank you, Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Well, okay. Bill 6, where to start? To be fair, it's where to start. So I was very happy this morning to be at the breakfast, and always happy, Mr. Speaker, to engage with our correctional staff. And certainly every time you hear issues and challenges they are facing, we are working with them to address this. Bill 6 is a foundation of a transformation, and something maybe that particular member, that particular party may not understand, because while they were in power, Mr. Speaker, they actually privatized our institutions. You know what? Mr. Harris negotiated in a very bad faith deals that really have still today impacted our inmates and our correction officers all around our province. So, you know, I hear and I am very committed in working with our correction partners to ensure their safety, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Back to the Minister. You know, under the Liberal regime for the past 15 years, probation and parole policymakers have put together greater emphasis on PNP offender risk assessments. This has basically turned probation and parole officers into psychotherapists. And this was made absolutely clear in Carolyn Jarvis' Global National Investigative Report titled Probation and Parole, Who's Watching? PNP officers are not to blame, but the police say it's not their responsibility. Worse, offenders describe probation and parole supervision as a joke. 60% of criminals on probation or parole are medium to high risk. So, Minister, who is going to supervise these dangerous criminals?
Question. Thank you. Minister.
So, Mr. Speaker, I had the great privilege, as I said, for the past few months of being the Minister of Correction Services, and I have engaged with our partner and actually visited some of our parole and probation offices. And you know what? When you talk about the reality, there is a reality that they have shared with me. And we're going to be working with them to address this, you know. And this bill, Mr. Speaker, is actually part of this transformation, is finding the solution together to enhance our way of delivering a sensitive and a more meaningful approach to our inmates. At the same time, we want to protect the hard-working individual who are taking care of those individuals. Mr. Speaker, we've looked at mental health. We've looked at accountability. We've looked at ensuring that our probation and parole officers have the support that they need. Thank you very much.